Hello everybody, welcome back to my second video. Today we're going to talk about some customers. Angry, good, bad, otherwise. And then there's those ones that just you can't stand. If you work in retail or restaurant or fast food or almost any kind of business, unless you're in a cubicle, you know what I'm talking about. Some experiences that I've had with customers is I had this one gentleman, coming in and he wanted to order, so gladly took his order. And then he tried pulling out a EBT card, which unfortunately we don't take. We're not cold food where I work, we're fast and we're hot food. So he got upset, and instead of pulling out money or whatever, he was just like, what can you do is switch quick to cash. And I was like, well, unfortunately we can't do that, our systems don't allow that. And so he got more outraged, and I said, either I'm going to need to see cash, or if you got a different card, that works. And he's like, well, I don't have another card. I said, okay, do you have any cash? And he's like, of course, I make more money in 1 month than you do out of your entire year. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to have cash, or unfortunately I'm going to have to cancel your order. God, my hair is not cooperating today. Oh, about got into a wreck right here with idiot fucking drivers. God damn. People need to look where the fuck they're going. Anyways, I gotta grab my food now. That was fun. Idiot went almost right into the side of me. Anyways, so back to idiot customers. So he said that he makes more money in 1 month than I do out of the entire year. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to either see the money or I'm going to have to cancel the order. And he's like, well, who do you think you effing are, this, that, and everything? And I'm like, well, now that you're cussing at me, I'm going to be the guy that's canceling your order. And so he didn't like that and got upset. And he's like, you want to take this outside? I'm like, no, not really, but I'll escort you out. And so I did. And on the way out, he was calling me all sorts of names. And everybody has that one customer. And when you're packed in a dining room, you try to de-escalate the situation. But this guy, there was just nothing. He went outside, and he offered me to come outside. And I was like, nah, I'm good, I'll pass. So he decided to make a fist. And I was like, that would be a very unwise move for you, not necessarily me. And he's like, well, you need to step outside, step up, little man. And I'm just like, nah, I'm good. So he eventually left, and I told customers, hey, sorry, if you guys see him come back, let me know. And not even 3 minutes later, shows right back up and starts banging on our windows. So I go back outside, and I tell him he needs to leave before I call the cops. And he's like, good, they're my ride home, blah, blah, blah. So I had one of my coworkers call the cops. And as soon as the cop rounded that corner, he tried booking it. And luckily the cops caught up and got him. And they were asking what happened. I told them what happened and yada, yada, yada. And so he got arrested. Another incident was with this lady. She actually came up to my main boss first, and she was talking about how she's got too many Lamborghinis and how she needs to sell them and yada, yada, yada. And my boss was like, nah, I'm good. I don't believe you. And so, that fucking idiot, sorry. I hate when people do that. They look at me like it was my fault. It's like, no, you got one inside of me. So then she comes up to me and she offered me a Lambo, and I was like, yeah, that'd be kind of nice, but you're on some sort of drugs, so no. And my boss was like, hey, can you escort her out? I was like, fine. So I took her outside. She was like, hey, don't come close. I was like, okay. She's like, I know Taekwondo. And so she tried doing some Taekwondo, which it was hilarious because her moves were pretty much hiya, hiya, and tried roundhousing me, which was hilarious because she didn't even get her foot a foot off the ground. And I was like, oh man, alright, backing off. I don't want to mess with you. And she kind of smirked, and she's talking about how her boyfriend was in jail and how he left her with all this money and all these cars and everything else and blah blah blah. And so I was like, well, I'm sorry, but I can't take any money or Lambos while I'm working. And she was like, well, when do you get off? I'm like, well, I'm not allowed to disclose that information for many reasons. I just don't want you contacting her anywhere near here. So she gets kind of upset and says that she needs an officer. So I go back and call the officer and let him know what's going on. And he comes and he's like, okay, so what's going on? I told him what happened. And so he went out and talked to her. Apparently he didn't arrest her because she wasn't doing too much wrong. And so she comes back in 5 minutes later, and same thing. I need another unit here, blah blah blah. And it's just, fast food industry or even restaurants, which is where I work as a restaurant, you get your fair share of people, for instance, like Subway, Domino's, all those places, I'm pretty sure get the same thing. But anyway, so she goes back out, and I have to go back out there and kind of deal with her, and she says, don't, once again, don't come closer, I don't want to hurt you, you look cute. I'm like, oh, shucks, whatever, thanks. So second unit comes, and I tell him, like, hey, she does not need to come back here. She's gonna keep, coming in the store and yelling profanity and obscenities and just other stuff like that. So he tells her, hey, by the way, pizza doesn't want you here. And she's like, that's fine. Just super whatever. So she leaves and she doesn't come back. It's good because she was a basket case, which where I live there's quite a bit of basket cases here in this town. And if you're from, or if you recognize me and you're from where I am, then you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, well, tough, because I'm not going to tell you where I live or what town I live in. Unless you look me up, which is, yeah. Third and final story for the day is this gentleman who actually didn't come to me, but he actually went to my boss and tried threatening her, which you don't threaten my boss. She's a pretty tough lady. So anyways, he comes in and sits down and talks about ordering a beer, and she's like, well, you can't have other food in here. And he's like, does it look like I'm gonna effing eat this here? Do I look stupid? How about you do your job and get me a beer? And she's like, well, how about you get out of my restaurant? And he's like, how about you do your job and get me an effing beer, lady? And at this point, I'm behind the counter. I'm sitting there watching, waiting for her to give me some sort of signal or for him to do something to actually get me going. And so he just keeps antagonizing her. So I eventually go, I'm like, hey, you need to leave. And yet again, for some reason, it's people's famous lines. Who do you think you are? I'm like, here we go again. I'm like, well, I'm the guy that's going to be escorting you out. So, yet again, this guy is not cooperating. He's like, all I want is a freaking beer. What's so hard about that? I said, well, you can't sit there and cuss at the owner of the store. It's not going to help your case. Sorry. And so he's like, well, I want my effing beer, this and everything. You're not going to have me leave. And I'm like, well, unfortunately, yes, I am. So I got him up and started walking him out, and he starts cussing at me, so on and so forth. And I'm just like, dude, come on. Really, be civil. I'm not doing anything to you. Your beef isn't with me. It's with my boss. I'm just here to do what I'm told to do, and that's about it. So I get to the door with him, and he's like, well, you want to step outside? I'm like, no. I said, but I want you to step outside. I'm sassy when it comes to customers, which is another thing. To me, I don't think customers are always right, in that business or type of field, most people are like, hey, you have to believe the customers. I'm like, well, that's true. If they have some sort of proof, such as a receipt or something that says that we did something wrong, so be it. But if you don't have anything and I catch you in a lie, then I'm not going to believe you. Sorry. That's happened before too. So the guy gets super upset and he eventually apologizes to me, which I thought was kind of cool. But my boss is behind me, She wanted me to escort him out, but she's behind me, and she's like, "Yeah, get out." I'm just like, "Really? Now you're gonna back me up now, boss lady? Really? Come on now." So he eventually leaves. Cool. End of story. Actually, I got time for one more. I'm like 3 minutes away from home. So another guy. I think so far the best story that I would ever have is this guy that called me Sniper Eyes, and all my coworkers. We're sitting there at the counter watching this unfold. My server at the time, she did not feel comfortable serving this guy. So I told her, okay, I'll go up there with you, make sure that say that you're new. And so I go up there and he looks at me, he's like, well, who are you? And I'm like, well, I'm the manager. And he's like, well, I don't want you here. He's like, I want to talk to the other girl. I'm like, well, she's a new server, so I'm kind of here to make sure that she's doing her job correct and, so on and so forth. And so he gets super fucking freaking pissed and was like, well, I don't want you up here. You need to leave. I'm like, well, unfortunately, this is my store right now, so I'm not leaving. And he's like, you know what? I don't like you. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. And he's like, you know why I don't like you? I'm like, no. And he's like, because whenever I go like this, he's like, your eyes are fixated on me. I'm like, I'm sorry, I think. And I tell him that, I'm not meaning to cause you distress or make you freak out. And he's like, well, I don't care what you're trying not to do. He's like, I used to be in the military. And so I'm like, oh, thanks for your service. He's like, no, don't even put your hand out. I'm like, okay. So he's like, I could be your worst nightmare. I'm like, highly doubt that, but okay. And he's like, you need to leave. And I'm like, I already told you I'm not leaving. There's nothing you can do to make me leave. And he's like, how hard it is not for me to get up and hit you right now. And I look back and all my coworkers at the counter just, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna hit him? What's gonna happen? So I'm like, guys, get back to work. Anyways, so I'm like, well, do you know how hard it is for me not to kick you out of the store right now? I said, I'm being civil, but since you threatened me, I'm gonna escort you out. And he's like, well, I'm not moving. I'm like, well, you're gonna kind of have to. And he's like, are you gonna force me up? I said, no, but I can call the police, or I could force you up if it comes down to it. And he eventually got up and he's like, well, I want to know who you are. And I told him, like, okay, my name's, Jared, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, you better make sure to work here when I take this company over so I can make you work your butt off and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, good luck with that. Good luck taking that from our CEO. So on the way out, he finally got up and decided to leave, but on the way out, he decided to sit there and call me a slippery little butt fuck, so to say. And I was like, oh man. So my response back to him was like, I'm like, oh, how do you know what I do on the weekends? And he just kind of turned around and just gave me the dirtiest glare ever. But anyways, that's all for now. I will do another one next Sunday. I decided to do Sundays and Mondays are the days I'll be doing these. So if you like these, stay tuned on Sundays and Mondays. Spread it, share it, dislike it, like it, subscribe, and you guys will see more. All right. Bye.